Hi guys, how are you today? On the previous video, I gave you 3 simple steps on how to start thinking in English and how to practice this in a way that you start to feel more confident when you have to speak to someone. Today, I would like to practice one of the things that I suggested on that video. So what are we going to do? I've chosen a subject and I will help you come up with a short story and then practice that mentally. Okay? Then I will give you some tips on how often you should do it, when you should do it, how much you should write. Alright? The subject I chose for today is introductions. Introducing oneself may be difficult and challenging, and sometimes we feel nervous and stressed and insecure, and we end up not making a good introduction and consequently not a good first impression. However, there is a good way to end this, and the key is practice. Of course that you don't have to look at yourself in the mirror and practice it every day, speaking loudly. It doesn't have to be that way. If your brain is comfortable with those words, whenever you have to talk to someone, you will feel confident and you will not feel as nervous as you used to. That's why we can practice this mentally. And when you have to actually speak it real time to someone, you will feel better. So what is the first thing you have to do? Grab a piece of paper, a pencil, or a pen, it doesn't matter, and start writing down keywords. Why does it have to be keywords, Priscilla? Why can't I just sit down and write what I want to say? Because remember that this is a brain exercise and you have to make your brain do the work. So if you just write the sentences, okay, you are obviously working with your brain to make those sentences, but when you actually have to practice this mentally, you will be just reading. And if you only have the keywords, your name, I will give you the keyword suggestions. Your brain will have, when you're thinking mentally, your brain will have to work as if when you were speaking it orally. So the brain will have to remember structure, we have to remember what kind of sentences it'll be necessary to make in order to make the sentence sound correct or sound understandable. So that's why if you don't write sentences but just keywords on the piece of paper, it'll be better for your brain in terms of exercise. Okay? So for example, what I came up with were, as I said, introductions. So I wrote down a few keywords. My name, my age, where I am from, my occupation, in what subject I graduated, where I work, who I live with, a little bit of what I do in my free time, and a little bit about my personality. So as I said in the beginning, it doesn't have to be long, okay? This is an exercise to help you get to that level of thinking of complex things in English. That's why at this moment it doesn't have to be long. You can make simpler stories, short stories. Now if you feel that you're not there and you can do more, please do so. You can definitely think of more complex things to talk about. So now that you have your keywords, you can think of when to actually practice this exercise. Because I understand you have a busy life, you work, you go to school, you have a busy routine. So you have to find a good time of the day to be able to practice and dedicate yourself to this exercise. But I'm already gonna tell you this, it doesn't have to be a long time, okay? You don't have to be doing this for an hour. We have to be more realistic when we think of how long we are going to dedicate to this kind of exercise. So my suggestion is do it after you wake up and before you go to bed. I may not have the best scientific explanation, but after you wake up, your brain is rested. So this is a good moment to practice this exercise. Your brain is cool. And at night before going to bed, exactly because your brain is going to rest and process everything you did during the day, especially the things you did before going to bed. That way, you go to bed having done this exercise, and when you wake up, fresh, feeling good, you will remember a lot of what you did before going to bed. So it's a perfect combination. But if you can't, if you forget, it's okay. Try to find moments in your day that will enable you to have 5 minutes, 4 minutes to think of this in English. And remember, you don't have to actually say it. So you can just sit still and think of this. So now, coming up with the sentences that I wrote keywords about. Hi, my name is Priscilla, I'm 28 years old, I'm from Brazil, I live with my parents, I'm graduated in business management. I currently work at J&D as a business assistant. I love my job. In my free time, I go out with my friends, read books, and watch movies. I'm very patient and hardworking. So I was thinking the entire time, okay? Then I recorded the sentence later, and that's the idea. You think of the things you want to say, and then you start mentally thinking about them, as if you were saying them to someone. And remember, intonation is important, okay? Don't just think, my name is... No, use intonation. Imagine that you're introducing yourself to a very special person, someone you really like. Wouldn't you want to cause a good impression? That's how you should think of, with good intonation, excitement. Well, of course, that depends on the subject. But in this case, it's an introduction, so you want to make a good impression. So this is a very simple exercise and a very simple subject that even a beginner can do. It's all about sitting down, looking for the words you don't know and practicing them. Once you feel confident with the subject, move on to another one. Pick something more difficult for you, and then you have to know yourself to see what exactly is more challenging. Is it talking about sports challenging for you? Is it talking about movies difficult for you? What is it that it's challenging, and whenever you have to talk about, you struggle, you get stuck because you don't know what to say, and then when you realize you are thinking of your native language. So that's what you have to figure out. And these exercises specifically is a wonderful tool that if you use it, I am sure that you will become a better speaker very fast. Well guys, I promise I will try to post more videos with different subjects and exercises like this. I hope you guys like it. Leave a comment telling me what you thought about it, okay? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends. Well guys, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.